Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Emily, the Home Bookkeeper, and on this channel I help business owners and fellow freelance bookkeepers navigate the ever-changing QuickBooks Online, while also sharing insightful videos on all things business ownership and finance. As always, this is a sample company provided by QuickBooks for educational purposes only. I am covering in today's video how to edit your expense settings in QuickBooks Online to match your company's needs. These settings let you activate important features and disable those you don't need, as well as set up custom options such as adding a markup to expenses billed to customers. First things first, click on the gear icon in the top right corner of your QuickBooks Online screen and select Account and Settings under your company in the first column. Next, click on Expenses in the left-hand side toolbar to reveal the three categories of expense settings: bills and expenses, purchase orders, and messages. Let's start by customizing your bills and expenses by clicking anywhere in the Bills and Expenses section. The Bills and Expenses screen includes the following fields. First, we have a Show Items table on expense and purchase forms. This setting must be turned on to assign expenses and purchases to items instead of directly to expense accounts. Items include the products and services that you sell to your customers. So this option must be turned on if you have inventory. The use of items is a powerful feature of QuickBooks, so I highly recommend this option to be activated. Next up, we have Show Tags fields on expense and purchase forms. Tags are customizable labels that you can assign to transactions. Turn this setting on if you wish to categorize your expenses in a way that is not covered by other fields available. For example, you might use tags to categorize expenses by department, project, or location, or to identify expenses that are tax deductible. Now let's track expenses and items by customer. This should be turned on so that you can assign expenses and items purchased to specific clients, and if you want to bill customers for expenses incurred on their behalf. Now let's make expenses and items billable. You should turn this setting on when you want to charge your customers for expenses you incurred on their behalf. For instance, if you are a consultant who travels to a client's site and incurs expenses such as hotel and meals, you can use this setting to bill your client for those expenses in addition to your consulting fees. Now let's edit the markup with a default rate setting. If you've decided to provide an option to bill expenses and items to clients, you can choose a default markup rate. If you leave this box unchecked, the expense or item will be billed to the customer at the actual cost. You can change the markup when creating your invoice. Now let's track billable expenses as income. There are two methods of accounting for the reimbursement of billable expenses. If you leave this box unchecked, the reimbursement will directly offset the original expense. If you check the box, the reimbursement will be recorded as income. Any markup of expenses will always be shown as income. If you decide to track billable expenses as income, you must choose whether you want all billable expenses to be tracked in a single account or multiple accounts. In a single account, all billable expenses will be tracked in an income account named Billable Expense Income. In multiple accounts, a checkbox will be added to every income account information screen, so you can indicate which income accounts should be available to use for billable expense income. Now let's charge sales tax. If you're required to collect sales tax from customers on billable expenses, check this box. Invoices for billable expenses will then include a field for sales tax. Now let's edit the default bill payment terms. Most vendors will provide you with a payment terms for their invoices, which can be entered either in the vendor information screen or as the bill is input. The default payment term entered here will apply to bills for which the vendor hasn't specified payment terms. By setting up payment terms in QuickBooks Online, you'll receive reminders when a bill is coming due. When you have customized all of your options under Bills and Expenses, click the green Save button. Now click on Purchase Orders to open the various options available. Now the first option is Use Purchase Orders. POs can be generated in QuickBooks Online and then emailed to vendors or printed. They can be converted to bills once the order is received. Now let's edit your custom fields. You can add up to 3 custom fields to print on your purchase orders. This option is great if your vendors request specific information excluded from the QuickBooks purchase order. If you purchase products with unique attributes or specifications such as size, color, or style, you may want to add custom fields to your purchase orders to capture this information. Custom transaction numbers. If this box is unchecked, QuickBooks Online will automatically generate PO numbers. By checking the box, you can manually input PO numbers when they're created. This option is nice if you want to match your purchase order to a vendor system. Now let's talk about default messages on purchase orders. You can provide a default message that will print on all purchase orders. This message can be changed and customized when you create your purchase order. When you're satisfied with your choices, click the green Save button. The last section of expense settings allows you to design a default email message to accompany purchase orders emailed to vendors. Click on Messages to get started. Here you can customize the greeting, the subject line, and message you wish to send with all of your purchase orders. You can always change the email message when you send a PO. For instance, you might want to add a personal note when you send your purchase order to a longtime vendor. If you don't like the changes you've made, click the green Use Standard Message button to return to the original settings. The last option is to have a copy of the email sent to the QuickBooks Master Administrator. When you're done customizing your purchase order email, click the green Save button. As the overall best small business accounting software, QuickBooks Online offers a wide range of expense customization options, allowing you to tailor your expense settings to your specific business needs. By customizing your expense settings, you can create a more accurate picture of your business expenses and track them more efficiently. For example, by using custom tags, you can customize expenses according to different projects or departments and generate reports that provide a detailed breakdown of expenses by category. You can also set a default markup rate for expenses and ensure that your pricing is consistent across all projects. For more business resources, my online self-paced home bookkeeper masterclass, business supplies, gadgets, must-haves, and more, make sure to check out edjconsultinggroup.com/resources, linked below. And of course, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you'll never miss an upload. If you have any video or tutorial requests, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you need more assistance, private QuickBooks Online coaching, or bookkeeping and payroll management, feel free to email or visit edjconsultinggroup.com. My firm is fully inclusive and ready to help you along wherever you may be in your entrepreneurship or personal wealth building journey.